He has a ceiling that is skyscraper size.
Jermaine Lawrence, a 6' 8" hoop star for Cardozo High School in Queens.
She always had a certain drive, even when she was a little girl.
Amalia Knapp, a 3' 8" 8-year-old gymnast from Teaneck, New Jersey. On the surface, polar opposites. In reality, two athletes who equally personify the word commitment. Their commitment to athletics has raised each one to elite status in their respective sports, but it's their commitment to religion that could threaten all of that.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want.
Jermaine Lawrence is a member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, a Christian denomination that observes the Sabbath every week from sundown Friday to sundown Saturday.
You're supposed to go to church or do any praise of God, anything like that. Just one day of the week to praise God.
Unfortunately, when you play basketball, Saturday is not a day off.
And not many 16-year-olds play basketball better than Jermaine.
Being around New York City basketball since the 70s, the only one that I would compare him to is Lamar Odom.
With that type of talent, obviously Naclerio wants Jermaine on the floor as much as possible. So while Coach allowed Jermaine to miss every Saturday practice, he also tried to limit the number of games Cardozo played on the Sabbath.
I'm changing the schedule, but I can't change every game. I think we played 3 Saturdays last year, and he played all 3 Saturdays. One was a playoff game.
On those Saturdays where you would play basketball, do you ever feel internal conflicts about it?
Sometimes during the game, before a game, I'll get a feeling that I'm not supposed to be here.
It's very hard for me to watch him go and play on the Sabbath. I feel like I'm compromising his faith.
In the 8 short years that Amalia Knapp has been alive, her faith has been priority number 1. As an Orthodox Jew, Amalia and her family strictly follow the Jewish Sabbath, which, like the Seventh-day Adventist Church, prohibits participation in sports on Saturdays. When Amalia is not observing the Sabbath, it's a pretty good bet that you'll find her in a gym, practicing and competing in the sport she's loved since she was a toddler, gymnastics.
Amalia is a great gymnast. She loves gymnastics, and she's one of the top gymnasts in New Jersey, the state competition.
And when you're at that level, the date you circle on your calendar is that of the state championship. Unfortunately for Amalia, this year, there was a circle around a Saturday.
They didn't tell us when competition was, only 3 weeks before it. So I was getting ready, it was really hard, and then when I heard it was on Shabbos, I got really upset.
We started speaking to people about it and seeing what can be done, if maybe we could have her compete with a different age group, and in the end, she competed with a different age group on Sunday.
But that wasn't enough. While USA Gymnastics allowed Amalia's Sunday scores to count towards her team's overall ranking, they said that her individual scores, good enough for 5th in the entire state, wouldn't count, all because she didn't compete with her peers on Saturday.
You remind yourself that as much as you love your religion, there are just reality check, there are certain limitations, and you might not be able to do it all.
Not able to do it all. Never has that statement been truer than it is today. The rule seems to be that playing a sport nowadays means committing to it 7 days a week. And the better you are at that sport and the higher you climb in it, the less flexible that rule becomes. Jermaine Lawrence is starting to see that firsthand right now. A surefire Division I college basketball player talent-wise, yet still viewed by many coaches as a bit of a question mark because of his religious commitments.
Several college coaches told me, Coach, we can't offer him a scholarship unless we know we have him 7 days a week.
For him to be turned away because he doesn't want to play on the Sabbath, because of his religion, because of God, it wouldn't be fair to him.
And in my own experience, there was a number of situations where I had to make a choice.
If anyone knows about walking the tightrope between sports and religious commitments, it's Joe Fitzgerald, currently the chaplain at Holy Trinity High School on Long Island and formerly an Olympic athlete. Father Fitzgerald has quite literally reached the highest levels of both.
I see these families saying, hey, Father, this is the difference between my son or daughter getting a $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 scholarship.
A lot of college coaches say, well, if we gave him a report card and he's a 98 player, Well, if we have to, we'll go look for another 98 player, or we'll have to deal with a 97 player.
Some kids are being arrested. Some kids are such bad attitudes, they're almost cancers for a team, and yet they make all these accommodations to let these young men or women fit into their program. Well, in some cases, we're talking about good young men and women and making accommodations for faith.
This whole experience has made me realize that it really is a hot issue that has really pushed buttons for a lot of people, and I think that there is room for growth.
If these kids are good enough and they're the knuckleheads of our society and we find a way to allow them to be on the team, well, how can we not do the same thing for these young men and women who stand up for their faith, who stand up to be have great character and great integrity, and saying that on this day or these few times throughout the year, I'm going to put my faith first.